Hi everybody, my name is Zev Talblib. I'm a professional soccer player, a certified personal trainer, and a certified nutritionist. And my goal is to help you go from being in pain to going out of pain, no matter what it is you're doing. So I have here a layout of a bunch of toys that I use to help me when it comes to staying fit, but of course staying out of pain. So the first one I'm going to show you, this is called a Rapid Reboot. You'll also see something called a Normatec. What you do with these is you put your legs inside them, and what it does is it squeezes, it puts pressure on your muscles and your bones, whatever's inside of it, of course, all the way from the bottom to the top or top to bottom. Now, I have to be honest, I'm not sure if this is worth your bang for your buck. It was about $1,000 to get something like this. What is really great about it, particularly if you have an injury, like I've had my ACL, you put ice below it, below the zipper, and then you put it on, and it can almost act as a Game Ready, which is a very expensive ice machine. And that is very nice, I have to say. If you try it and you like it, then I would say you should use it. And there's a facility that we have that you could come and try it and see if you like it. The other thing I would say that's kind of cool about it is we're constantly talking about length and length and length. When you squeeze everything together, it kind of physically creates length. So from that perspective, I do like it. But if you came and used this, or if you have an opportunity to use it elsewhere and you're like, this is going to fix me, it's not going to fix you. So that is the Recovery Reboot. Now, the next thing I want to show you is a classic heating pad. There's nothing really particularly special about this other than it heats you. It's great for morning pain, like if your back hurts in the morning, this is probably great, better than ice. And it's really helpful if you're about to go work out or if you're about to go outside, you put this on first. It's really great right when you wake up. I would say it doesn't make the pain go away forever, but it will help reduce the pain, which is really fantastic. Next, after the heat pack, we have the classic foam roll items. Now, one thing I want to show you with these is that they're all helpful. This is obviously a classic foam roller where you foam roll parts of your muscles. It's quite encouraged, and I would say, again, if it feels good, then you should do it. But this is usually a limited time fix. It will feel good, it will open up some things, but naturally things will go back together. And the reason for that is, if you can imagine, if you have a bike and the bike has its tires, imagine the tires are like our muscles. And you've pumped up the tires, you've made them really strong, you've worked out, but the steering wheel is crooked and the pedals are crooked. Every time you go for a bike ride, you're just going to mess up the tires because the pedals and the steering wheels are turned incorrectly. That's kind of how we walk. Our steering wheels is our bones are in the wrong place, or our muscles are too tight, or a combination of those two things. So this is a great modality, but it just is usually temporary to reduce pain. To really fix pain, we need to do what we're establishing in our exercises, which is the idea of how to create space so that way we can walk correctly. So I would say these are great. I would have these in my house. This one in particular is called a Pso-Right. It's developed so you can get into your psoas, which is one of the longest parts, one of the longest muscles that goes from the quote-unquote top half to the bottom half. So I would really say this is a very interesting tool. If you've never used it before, it's pretty uncomfortable, but it can be quite useful. Like I said though, it is for temporary release. To really create an established difference, you need to do this consistently, and we need to work on our biomechanics. So both are needed. Lastly, this is a really cool feeling device. It's called a Hyposphere. You click it, and you click it a couple times. It will vibrate, and it will shake as you use it. I will show you later. Nope, I'll show you now. Just kidding. I'll show you now. So as you can see here, it's vibrating, and then what you would do, and you can see there it vibrates quite a bit. You can change the levels. You would put it on a certain muscle group and give yourself a massage. It is really great, like I said, for temporary release. I would encourage anybody to get one, and I would say this is better maybe even than the recovery pants. But like I said, this will prevent pain for perhaps a short time. Now, this one is probably one of my favorites. This is called a Graston. So it kind of looks like a weapon. And what you would do, you have to know how to use this. You never use this on your bones. You would use this on your muscles. And what you do is you really can get the tops ends of your muscle groups. You can't really get super deep. You would need a deep tissue massage, but this can be really great to release tight muscles. I like to do this before training, or particularly if I've had an injury somewhere, I might do a couple repetitions of this, and I find this to be very useful. This is like $70 on Amazon. I definitely think everybody should get this. It's really great for the back of the calves because everybody's calves are sore. It's better than a roller because it's a lot more firm. You should use it with some type of cream. This is a CBD cream with arnica in it. I would tell you after using this that I no longer believe in CBD in terms of lotion is working. However, I would say that this has like an icy hot feel to it, so right after you use it, you kind of feel good. If it works for you, like I said, you should do it. Every person is different. It did not really do anything for me, but it's really useful to use when you have this. You want to use this with some type of lotion, so when you're going on that skin, it can not create an irritation because of your hair or because you're going too hard. You really want to use some lotion with this, but this I really love. Okay, next, we're almost to the end here. This is a squeeze ball, so I'm going to stand to show you. We're constantly talking about squeezing together to find length. So this ball actually helps us know if we're squeezing. So you put it right nice and high up, like you're riding a horse almost. So then when we're squeezing, you can really feel you're squeezing because you have something to squeeze. So if you love my exercises that we're doing and you're like, oh, I just want to do it every day all the time, then I would say invest in this. Otherwise, I would say use a towel or a block, or just as we've been doing, just recognize that you're squeezing together. These two items, if you go to any PT, you will see this on a daily basis. You'll do lots of clamshells, lots of leg exercises. These are great when it comes to booty or glute activation. I would say that if you're in pain, you should get these because you can do a lot of exercise with them to help you get out of pain. However, as we've mentioned before, they're not the quick fix that may or may not exist for you. However, I do think they are a crucial part. Next, we have the strap. I do think this is really important, cheapest item for sure, and we can do all sorts of stretches that I think are really important when we use this particular strap. We can take away the activation of our muscles and use the strap as a weight-bearing tool so we can go into farther and even extend and elongate more. So I would definitely invest in a strap. These aren't difficult to find. Almost lastly, two more. This is called a BFR unit. So how this works, this is a relatively expensive item, upwards of $200. You wrap it around your muscle group. In my case, I'm going to do my leg. So how a BFR machine works is through the app, it calibrates what percent of your blood flow is at 80%. Once you've reached 80%, it will stop constricting. Now you're going to do exercises with this on, but because of that constriction, your body goes into this almost different metabolic format where now it's producing a little bit more protein in your body, but it's particularly meant if you can't lift heavy, like if you're recovering from surgery like I was with my ACL, then what you really want to do is use this device so you can do quote unquote heavy lifting without the heavy lifting. So this can be really helpful for when you're coming back from an injury. I think that I personally would put this on my keep list. I think it's super helpful and worth the dough. Lastly is a smartwatch of some kind, particularly if you're into losing weight or you're doing some type of fitness test. These are great because you can calculate your heart rate, you can understand where you want to be from where you are, and also during your day you can track your steps, you can track so many items. So I would definitely recommend. I have an Apple Watch myself. This is a cheap version. This is $34 and it's just as good as the Apple Watch in my opinion. The only reason I use the Apple Watch is connected to my phone. So I would invest in this item. These are my toys. If you have any further questions, you can of course send me a message. Thanks so much for listening. And again, the main point I want to get across to you is all of these things can help a tiny bit in our goal of no pain. But the biggest thing we need to work on is how it is we take each step and how it is we walk. So that way we can use these items to help with that process. Okay, so nice to talk to you, and we'll talk to you again soon.